What's going on, guys? Welcome to 2023. So, what's kind of popular in the beginning of the year is going over your New Year's resolution. So, I want to kind of share with you my goals for 2023 and kind of how I view goals. So, for me, a lot of real estate investors, especially if you listen to Bigger Pockets podcast, they have really big goals over the next 5 to 10 years. And for me, I used to kind of have the same vision as well, where, hey, in 5 years, I want to have 20K a month in net positive cash flow and have the option to retire from my W 2 job. But, for me personally, that kind of made me a little bit unhappy because every time I wasn't at my goal, I felt like a failure and I felt like I just wasn't enjoying the process. So as a result, of that, I kind of shortened my goal setting window to 6 months. And why I chose 6 months is it's enough to kind of help you walk towards a big goal, but not too long where you're not present in the moment, right? Like there's a lot of investors in bigger pockets that say in 5 years, I want to have $1 billion of assets under management for Airbnb. And for me, it's just really hard to make that big of a claim because number one, what if I hate, like, what if I own $100 million or I have $100 million of assets under management of Airbnbs and I completely hate my life, right? It's really hard for me to make that call today when I don't know what it feels like. For me, yeah, it sounds great to say that I want to own $1 billion of assets under management, but I don't know what that entails, right? Like you have to have a large team, you have to have a partnership. It requires a lot of time. You're dealing with other people's money. It comes with other different stressors. You have to run it like a business. You have to market. You're just constantly on and on and on. And to me, like right now, that doesn't seem appealing to me. And even if it did feel appealing to me right now, as I go through the process, I may hate it and may want to pivot. So that's why I do not do huge 5 year goals. I honestly just do 6 month goals. So let me share with you my 6 month goal for 2023. So let's see here, 6 month goal for 2023. So what's really nice about this is it helps me um, kind of live in the present, but still kind of look at the future without being too far into the future. Because, a lot of mental health disorders happen for two reasons. Number one, you're living in the past, which is not healthy, or if you live too much in the future, which is not healthy either. Because you're always feeling that like you're never good enough, that you're inadequate. So you want to be the most happy people live in the present, but be present, but also have goals to improve every day in the future. So I think 6 month is that sweet spot. So let me share you my goals. So my 6 month goal is I want to finish renovation, finish reno for my 26 unit and my 20 unit apartment. So basically, I want to do a BRRRR to pull out my down payment and my renovation costs, right? So my 26 unit, it's probably going to be worth about 1.3 million when it's done, and my 20 unit is probably going to be worth around 800K when it's done. So now that I increase the value, I do a 75% loan to value loan. Probably do non-recourse debt. So non-recourse, so I'm not personally liable for that. And then from there, I'm going to pull out my down payment. So I'm going to do DP for short, plus renovation, plus maybe additional equity. It depends. So additional money. And if I'm lucky and these two both finish at the same time, which it may, I can put this under one LLC. So, I want to simplify my life, right? So once I finish renovating, there's loan bank lenders out there. Well, they'll give me 75% loan to value, non-recourse debt. So you have to pay a higher interest rate. You can put under one LLC to keep your life simple. The fewer LLCs you have, great. If I can consolidate, great. I'm gonna pull up my down payment, my renovation costs, get additional money, and at this point, I'll have capital to buy more real estate if I want to, right? So that's one goal. My second goal is to sell my mobile home park. So, kind of a realization that I went to is I want to double down on apartment complexes and be great at apartment complexes versus be good at apartment complexes and mobile home park. Like the mobile home park, it's way more active. So it's increase active, way more capex. And to be honest, I'll be honest, this is a full-time job in itself. It's a full-time job, and you basically need a team. Like even though I have a on-site property manager, off-site property manager, you have to be on top of them at all times, and a lot of times if they don't perform, you end up costing more money. So if I can sell my mobile home park, basically lock in my profit, whatever that is, if I break even, so be it. Um, to me, if I break even, I just basically got a free masterclass on mobile home park investing. But my goal is to sell it and then take this money to buy more apartments, right? Maybe my next 6 month segment, that might be my goal, right? Is to buy more apartments, or I could, buy primary residence. So basically, that's a goal, right? I want to sell my mobile home park and have money available to double down on apartment complexes, right? And it'll also simplify my life, right? Like once again, I want to be great at apartment complexes in Oklahoma, not be good at apartment complexes and my mobile home park. So I think I made the decision to relieve my mental clutter to sell my mobile home park. So from there, I actually invest in whole life insurance. So I have, and I'm gonna make a video talking about that, but I have an IUL, which is Index Universal Life Insurance, and a VUL, which is a variable life insurance. And each of them cost about $3,000 a month. So a kind of a strategy that I use is that I get the lowest, it's called the lowest death benefit, and I max fund it. And I max fund, and it basically gets invested to the S&P 500. So I'm going to make a whole video talking about whole life insurance investing. I know it's very controversial, but kind of my mentality about it is this is a game for somebody who owns a lot of assets and they're a higher net worth, right? This is not for somebody who is trying to, less than $1 million. If that's the case, just do term life insurance. It's cheaper. It's about maybe 30 to 50 bucks a month, and you just can invest the difference. This is for more advanced investors who have a higher net worth. But basically, the concept is you want to get the lowest death benefit possible, and you want to make sure you max fund the policy so that the difference, after you take out the fees of the cost of insurance, gets invested into the S&P 500. So let me give you an example right here. So an IUL is an Index Universal Life Insurance. That means that it has a ceiling and a floor. So the ceiling is, let's say, 15%. So if the stock market goes up by 30%, you get capped at 15, and the floor is 1%. So if the stock market crashes by 30%, you still get 1%. For a VUL, there's no ceiling, there's no floor, you just ride the market, right? That's why it's called variable universal life. So I'll just say ride the market. So what you want to do is when you invest in whole life insurance is you want to structure it so you get the lowest death benefit that you want. You want to max fund it, and that difference gets invested in S&P 500. So let me give you my example. So I have a $1.5 million IUL, and the minimum premium payment is I think $500 a month, and the max is $3,000. So what I want to do is I max fund it with $3,000 a month. So that's how you know how much life insurance you can afford is whatever the max is. And after the fees, it gets invested into the S&P 500, and then that money will grow tax free. And then you can basically take a line of credit against your life insurance. It's called a cash value line of credit. So it's a CV lock, and you can borrow that money if needed, right? So what's nice about the IUL is that you can just lump sum an IUL and pay it off for the rest, have it paid off for the rest of your life, right? So for my $1.5 million IUL, I think the lifetime money you can put into it is $250K. So once again, ask your life insurance agent to do that. So for me, I think I already put in around 100K because I own this since 2019 and I max funded it. So I have 150K left. So remaining. So kind of my goal, and sorry for that large tangent, is I want to take my money that I get from my one of my apartment complexes, or if I sell my mobile home park, and basically pay off my $150,000 left to my IUL and be done with that $3,000 per month payment, right? So now after that, I removed my $3,000 a month payment, I'll be done my IUL, and I want to do something in my VUL, right? So right now I'm obligated to $3,000 per month payment, but I want to do a lump sum. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head, but let's just make it simple. Where let's just say I need, whatever. Let's just call it 300,000 to pay off my VUL. Same thing, right? So between my IUL and VUL, I need $450,000. If I sell my mobile home park, I think I'll probably get back around, $500,000. At that point, I could pay those two off, and I'll be free of my monthly obligation of $6,000 per month. So here I'm trying to simplify my life by lowering my expense, right? So sell mobile home park, get my money back, maybe get some profit, take the profits, and then pay off my IUL, VUL, and then whatever is left over, I want to dump it into my reserve. So my goal is to have a reserve of 250K, right? So because I was so leveraged, I um, dipped into my reserves a little more than I'd like to. But for me, for some reason, at 250K, considering all the real estate I own, it just makes me feel comfortable to know I have $250,000 in my bank account. It's just a peace of mind thing for me. Find out whatever your number is. Mine's 250K. It makes no sense at all. It's purely an emotional thing, but that's what I want to do. So to kind of summarize all this, I know I threw a lot at you here, but basically I want to finish renovations in my 2 apartment complexes. I want to do a BRRRR, do a cash out refi, non-recourse debt. I want to consolidate it from, each my 26 unit, 20 unit have their own LLCs. I want to consolidate it to one LLC if possible, if the timing works. Pull up my down payment, pull up my renovation costs, maybe get additional money. Right? That's great. The next is to simplify my life. I want to sell my mobile home park. And honestly, if I break even, fine. That's whatever. Put my money. If I get my money back out, great. If I make a profit, even better. But I want to take that money. So I have money for my mobile park. I have money for my renovations, assuming they're done. And at this point, I want to pay off my IUL, which I have $150,000 remaining, and my VUL, which is maybe $300,000, paid off. Once you max funded your policy, you're done, right? So I'm not obligated to this 3K payment over here and this 3K payment over here. After that, I want to build up a reserve of $250,000, right? And then after that, that's kind of my financial and wealth goals, right? In terms of my health goals, I want a gym 3x a week consistently. During COVID, I lost this habit, right? When you invest in real estate, when you own a business, it's all about your mindset. So to keep your mindset fresh and to be grounded, you need to exercise. You got to work your body to de-stress so you can handle large real estate portfolios, so you can handle business, right? So I want to gym 3 times a week. Also, I want to, continue to post on social media 3 times a week as well. So just like in real estate, just like in social media, I want to compound it, right? And it takes a lot of time. It's very depressing, I'll be honest, to post on social media. You don't gain much traction, you don't have much views, but you just got to keep going at it and focus on the process. So for me, I just love teaching, especially in this format where I can kind of handwrite things out to teach people. I want to continue doing it. And over time, in maybe 5 years, maybe I'll blow up, right? If not, whatever, I can share these videos to my kids one day and they can learn from that. So, um, and then that's just kind of my goal, right? So as you can see here, this is my 6-month goal. To summarize, basically, I want to stabilize my apartments, sell my mobile home park, hopefully pay off my IUL, VUL, build up a $250,000 reserve, continue to gym 3 times a week and post social media 3 times a week. So those are kind of my 6-month goals. And at that point, that takes me to about June. And at that point, I'll reevaluate, right? Like maybe I didn't, finish my renovations yet. So for my next 6-month goals for 2023, I might add it back, right? Maybe, hopefully I would have sold my mobile home park by then. So, if I can cross this off my list, I can reevaluate what I want to do with the money, right? Like for sure, I want to pay off my IUL, my VUL. And let's just say I do that and I have money from my, 2 BRRRRs for these 2 apartment complexes. I might have a lot of excess money. At that point, maybe my goal is to buy another apartment complex, right? But I won't know until I hit some of my goals. If I do, then I can reevaluate where I want to be, right? Maybe I'm at a point where my next 6 months, I want to buy a primary residence for me to live in, right? Like maybe I want to buy a nice home for me to live in instead of renting. So I have to reevaluate that. Or am I okay renting and I just will buy another apartment complex? So, I don't want to look too far ahead. But this is kind of my focus right now. And I'm just trying to keep it very simple and, trying to take daily actions today, which is still a lot, right? Like I'm having weekly calls for my 26 unit, my 20 unit to get updates on renovation. Now I want to pivot. Obviously I'm trying to actively sell my mobile home park right now. So I'm touching base with them. And, if I try to sell it to get under contract, it might take me 60 to 90 days, right? Just to get to the closing table. Obviously if I hit one of these 2, it'll help me pay off my IUL or my VUL. Maybe I can pay off my IUL, which is great. And then maybe only have my VUL. So that might get me at $3,000 a month. So I'm lowering my obligations, right? And then maybe I want to hit up my 250K of cash reserves and, continue to hold myself accountable with the gym and social media. So overall, hope you found my goals for 2023 valuable and kind of helped you pivot or reframe the way that you think about your goals for 2023. Hopefully you found this video valuable, and please comment below on what are some of your goals for 2023. And I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you so much.